Hello and welcome to Survive the Unexpected with your host Frank Pacino and my partner in crime, Amanda Bryan. And today we are discussing episodes 7 through 11. We're not doing 9 because 9 is just a recap. So
No, 8.
7,
We start at 8, right?
no, 7.
Oh, is it 7? Okay.
Yeah, 7 the merch, and then 7, 8, 10, and 11. Those are the ones that we're covering. 9 we didn't really watch. I'm sorry. So
We'll explain why a little bit.
but yeah, so we started out right at the merge. These 4 episodes were a little, this season's been tough for me to get through, to be honest with you.
Yeah. It's been slow going season. We like some of the characters on there, but overall it's just eh.
Yeah. It's just I have no nostalgia with this episode, these seasons. Just so you guys know, there's no nostalgia coming from my end. These
No.
are like seasons I watched one time a long time ago. I'm rewatching again. So there's no nostalgia with these first, I want to say like 25 seasons going through, I'll be
I
honest with
mean I did watch Australian Outback live. I think I was 9. So my as much as my 9-year-old memory can remember, that's as far as that goes.
you. Yeah. But basically, we start out, we're going to merge. Both tribes talk about weak spots on the tribe, trying to figure out, filling each other out, discussing a game plan going into this merge.
Yes.
And it's just them going back and forth. Who do you think has votes? Who do you think's the weak one? Da da da. It's very, just trying to stick together around the troops here.
They start mentioning on the other tribes like who has votes. So like, hey, who do we think has votes on the other tribe? Because in case it does go to another tie, they know the tiebreaker now is, how many votes somebody's had in the past. And that is playing a part into the strategy of this game that they don't do later on because they, ixnay that, but
Yeah.
it's part of the game now.
Yeah, Okafor says they keep the tight lip on who got votes on their side. Jeff mentions they know I got a vote, but I'm not sure how. I don't remember how that came out to be played. I'll be honest with you. But yeah, this is basically them strategizing going into merge, and it's actually kind of fun when they do. They do like a half tribe thing where they're like transferring over people? That was kind of fun.
I liked that, and I'm surprised they don't do that more. Where you kind of like the whole scouting part of it, like not even just like before merge, but in general, sending people back and forth to like say the night at the camp for one night, or to go have a dinner with them. Like I feel like that could really, I mean, it does target people and single people out, but you also get good information that way too.
I think the reason why they don't do it anymore is because it's not a tribe strong thing anymore, really.
Right?
It's
They merge
like
super early now too.
they merge early and people
Yeah.
swap. In these games, people have not swapped, so they have no interaction with each other. So it's more of a like this is the first time we actually get to meet them and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
in the swaps, you already met half the people, most likely from the other side or the other two tribes or something like that because there's
Right.
been
That's
swaps,
true.
interactions. There's none of that these early seasons.
Not yet. No.
Basically what they do is guys and girls go to try, they get each different information, so they think they're receiving the women from the other tribe and they think they're sending over the women to the other tribe. So Kucha gets already all amped up, like we're
We're
gonna
so
receive the
excited to
women.
see some different women.
Yeah, they had like a nice little table set. They were like, we're gonna cook a chicken and all this stuff. And next thing you know, Keith and Colby starts walking up. They're like,
They're like, all I see is Colby's smile, his big old smile.
yeah.
Wonder why.
And the women are all excited and they're laughing and living it up. The guys are like, oh.
Over it. They were so ready for something else. But and the women went over to the tribe that had the least amount of food.
Yeah.
So Kucha was able to supply a pretty decent meal, whereas Okafor they opened a can, but
Yeah.
they
That's
had
all. That's
dude,
all
how
they did.
mad would you be if freaking why was it they had to cook the tortilla because the rice something really couldn't do something.
No, they had trouble getting the fire starting because
Oh,
Keith
that's
took the
right.
matches, but they did get the
Mm,
fire started. And
yeah,
they did make tortillas and they made open a can and
I think it was
over
tomatoes
and
they opened.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Kucha they made a chicken. And that sounds way better than some little tortillas.
Oh, for sure.
I'll tell you that right now. But yeah, it was. They talk about Scooping, what happened to him, and how he got burnt and everything, and
Mhm.
it's not the nicest thing to hear about. I mean, that did suck. It changed the
Yeah.
whole game for sure.
It really, oh, listen, if Scoopin would have stayed, it would have been a completely different game. Completely
Right.
different game. Him leaving, I can understand why they brought him back because him leaving did change the game significantly.
Yes, for sure. So they get told they have to make a new camp to not take
Mhm.
in either camp. So they all had to pack up with what they had and meet up at a new camp. They had to make a new camp. They did get a merge feast though. Nick was annoyed that people kept like just shoving their hands into
They
places
got
and eating.
crackers and cheese and all kinds of different stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah. Nick
hunger
was
this
like,
season is bad.
yeah, it is. Dude, you see how skinny, like, as you watch, do you see how skinny people are? Like, I was looking at like Amber and like how thin she was, and like how thin
Elizabeth,
Elizabeth's really
Colby.
thin. Colby lost. I mean, remember how muscular and buff he was when they first started? He's lost so much weight, so much
Yeah,
muscle weight.
Keith didn't look too bad, but Keith he had a little bit meat on him, so it's like he still has a
Yeah.
little meat on him, so he looks all right. I don't know how he does it, but everybody else looks like they're dying.
Yeah.
So
Starving for sure.
yeah, it's intense. But they get the merch feast. They're all celebrating.
Hmm.
Um, it's all kumbaya for a minute, but as soon as like they stop eating, like Kobe and Keith and all them like spread apart and start talking about what we're gonna start pointing at him, like, and Jeff's like,
Naturally.
"Whoa, I can see this! Like, what are you guys doing this right in front of us? Like, we're gonna pick him," and he has a big confessional. I started laughing.
Dude, Jeff's confessionals are so,
That's what's
so
lacking for me this
good.
season is the confessionals are so stale and boring.
Yeah, a lot of them are. This is back before they realize like how big confessional, you know what I mean? Like how big confessionals are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just even if we're not getting fun in confessionals, always get like confessionals of what you're thinking with the game. We didn't get a
Yeah.
lot of that this season, and that's my issue with it. The first immunity challenge is perch where they gotta stand on a log for as long
As
as you
long as
can.
they can. The
Uh,
shortest time was what was it? An hour and a half from Nick.
yeah, something like that. He's
And
like
then
oh, because then they offer food like
yeah,
peanut butter.
peanut butter and chocolate, I think was the
Yeah,
first one.
and him and Jeff got off.
Hmm.
And it was dumb for Jeff. Jeff knew he was in trouble. Like he knows he has a vote. Like he could easily go home, and it's
Yeah, it was dumb of
just
him to do
they
that.
went a long time, way longer than
It
I
was
would have.
way dark when they ended. Keith
Yes.
and Tina were the last two standing. And I think they ended up just making a plea. Or no, I think Alicia was up there too.
Yeah, Alicia got off. She's like, "Can you give me a boat to get back? I'm getting off." And they got her a
Yeah.
boat, and they got back. She didn't jump in the water because it was really, really cold at the time. It was nighttime,
Mhm.
and it was affecting them. And Tina and Keith actually made a great strategical move.
Yeah.
They knew Keith got boats, so what Tina and Keith talked about was like, "Hey, Keith's like, give it to me, and Tina's like, yep, I'll give it to you." So Keith won first individual immunity, which was the right move because I think him and Jerry are the only ones who received votes on their side.
Yep.
So if they want to keep their side intact, um, that was a great move for them. And I feel like they should have harbored more on that in the storytelling of
Yeah,
why they were doing
they
it.
don't edit Tina's story very well on why she's the winner this season because like even before merge, her story, I mean, she was a character. They mostly would just show Tina when she was mad of like
Yeah.
Jerry or mad at Keith or mad at somebody, you know what I mean? Like it was always Tina kind of bitching instead of like what her game was, like what she liked, or like, do you know what I mean? It was a
So
different kind of edit. And now they're starting to bring her more in on like, she is close with the women and
uh,
she is close with her original tribe. So she's in a really good spot and people don't realize how good of a spot she is.
I think they did show her well on the Mitchell vote out. They showed her on a grid edit on her talking to Colby, talking to other people, say, "Hey, Colby, come this way." She knew Colby was
Right.
the one that was gonna be able to flip if he was gonna flip, and he
Yeah.
did, and Mitchell went. And like I know, like so going into this, like this is where the gameplay lacks this season for sure. Is that Jerry and Amber knew they were on the bottom of that five.
Yeah.
This whole
Yeah.
like not one point. I guess we should wait until we get through the other episodes, but not one point they say, "Let's make a move against these other three," and they never did. And
No.
to me, if I know I'm at the bottom of a five, um,
You're in a good position
yeah,
to kind of play the middleman on both sides, not be a floater if you know any Big Brother terms, but you know, there's a good act in playing the bottom middle game. You're in a better position than what you are perceived, and that kind of saves you in a way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to tribal. They talk about the challenge and how the negotiating went between Keith and Tina,
Mm-hmm.
and Keith just asked for it. That's what he said. I asked for it, and Tina gave it to me, and it
It was the
was
right move for Tina. It definitely
I
was the right move for Tina.
the yes, and then tribals are pretty stale this season so far. Like the questions have not been good.
No.
I think instead of Jeff taking a step forward, I think he took a step back going from the first season.
Yeah, I think, but you know what? I think the characters on Borneo were a little bit more interactive than on Australian
That's true.
Outback. But you know, I
It could
think
be the
part of
edit
that
too.
is the hunger.
Yeah.
I think part of that might be the hunger. People are, I mean, he said for the first time this season, he really saw lethargy. Like
Yeah.
he couldn't, you know, like there's people who literally just couldn't even do the challenge as well as if they could because they're just so deprived.
Yeah. So it ends up being a deadlock between Jeff and Colby. And Cole, oh, we forgot to mention this. Colby was telling everybody like how he got votes, so that way they put the votes on him. So we see
Mm-hmm.
that gameplay as well, which is a big risk at like, hey, vote for me, like but they voted for him, and Jeff on the revote, Jeff went home because he already had a vote. And it's just
Yeah.
like, I hate that
Colby got
rule.
one shred of validant gameplay.
Yeah.
And
And
he just is not the great. But I think, again, I think I said this before too, but like, I kind of feel bad for Colby in a way because I think he's just annoyed. He's just annoyed by people, the same people he's been with for the past month, which I mean, I don't blame, because like as Survivor goes on, obviously more fans and more people apply and different things like that. But I think that he went and wasn't expecting to be annoyed, you know, realizing he's got to be stuck with these people for a month and a half per se.
it was a good move for like the tribe itself, but for
Mm-hmm.
himself, it was not a good move because if there's another tie and it ties on him, he goes.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's why I'm like, like yes, it was a good move for
Risky.
good move for the whole tribe itself, but as an individual, which this is an individual game, it wasn't the best move.
No.
But that pretty much covers episode 7. Um,
Yeah.
it really like it would have been way more thrilling with the rock draw. Like if the rock draw was implemented right away in these games, it would have
Yeah.
been like this season would, if you had 2 rock draws this season, it'd been mind blown.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh,
I think Australian Outback still the first or the only season with 2 ties.
I don't know. I can't tell you off the top of
Where's
the head.
Michael when you need him?
Right. The Survivor encyclopedia here.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 8, it's titled Friends question mark. Roger talks about providing for the tribe, so that way he tries to save himself because he knows that he's on the bottom now. He's in danger.
I adore Roger. I really do. I feel like he is one of the most kind-hearted Survivor contestants that I think I've ever seen. Like he's just so like I don't know. He's so nice and he's so like kind to everyone. And like Elizabeth he's really close to Elizabeth and he was close to, you know, like Alicia or Alicia and I don't know. I feel like he has a really good social game in the sense that he connects with people really well and people respect and like him.
Yeah. So, we forgot to mention Jeff does not make the jury because the 10th place does not make the jury, which is dumb to my eyes.
Frank doesn't like that.
If you make merge, you should make jury. Just saying that.
I agree.
Merge is a big milestone. Like instead, he's in his own.
Well,
category.
you have to think though too. Now that back then was a final 2, and now they have final 3. So if they would have had a final 3, then Jeff probably would have been on the jury.
Yeah, I don't like it when they don't have people. They have people on the jury that wasn't at merge, or that if you made merge, you didn't make jury.
Yeah, I don't like when they have the whole cast pretty much as jury. I don't think that's right.
Yeah. But yeah, Jerry talks about being nervous still through, even though she's on the majority alliance, she still feels nervous. She feels like her name will be tossed around a lot, and it really does. Alicia is trying to say, oh, we got to do jury management now and all this stuff. And honestly, like these are like the problem with these early, like this the earlier seasons is that it is so tribe centric most of the time. Like
Yeah.
this tribe takes over, and those are the worst seasons in my opinion. You don't want to see a pagonging. You don't.
No.
You
And
don't.
we do, and it's crazy because like as much as people really don't like a pagong, it happens so much in Survivor. But I mean, there's also seasons out there that kind of like it's kind of unavoidable. Like for example, like Survivor Fiji. Okay, when they
Yeah.
have the have and the have-nots tribe,
Yeah.
of course the haves are going to win all the challenges because they're the ones that are nutritionally built. Of course they're
Right.
going to win. You know what I mean? So you see kind of a paganing during that time because the production just kind of hands it to them in that way, and you see it a couple different times when they separate by age. Of course, the younger people who have a little bit more physical capability are going to win the challenges versus an older, slower tribe. It's just
Exactly.
that's what's going to happen. So as much as we don't like paganing, sometimes it's unavoidable.
Yeah, it is. And as a game perspective, it's not a bad strategy, especially if you're the top of that alliance. It's not a bad strategy, but it just irritates me when people like there's all bottom of every alliance. People don't fool
Yeah.
yourself to think, oh no, there's wiggle room that people are gonna see that. No, if you feel like you're on the bottom, guess what? You're probably on the bottom. So
Listen, if you don't know you're on the bottom, you're definitely on the bottom.
yeah.
And sometimes you're on the bottom and you're on the bottom. You got to figure out how to get out of the bottom.
Mhm. Yeah, so we go through and Jerry's just irritating people left and right. Things about the rice, things around camp. It's just she's
She's exhausting. She's
yeah, she doesn't know
exhausting.
what she's doing and it's bad.
Mhm.
It's just bad. And so it just irritates more people. And so it just puts a target on her back too. And
Yeah.
so we get to the reward challenge and it's the boomerang. Basically they toss a boomerang and they want it to come back and land closer to you, the closest it can to you.
Mhm.
It was quick. And this challenge, I mean, it was fun. No, I mean, they did something that's from Australia, so that's cool.
I like this challenge. I
Yeah,
think it would have been hard, and they made
yeah,
it look easy. But I
yeah,
feel like that would have been hard. Have you ever
yeah,
thrown a boom? Have you ever thrown a boomerang?
yeah,
It's extremely difficult.
yeah. It is.
It is.
So, Jerry wins reward, and she takes Amber have a full course meal, which
Mhm.
at this point everybody's like, oh, "Fuck, I want that."
But you know what? They weren't even mad because they were at camp and they enjoyed it without Jerry. Sad part.
Yeah, and everybody at camp was just talking shit to her about her the entire time she was gone.
The whole
Oh, at
time
least
she was
she's
gone.
gone. Da da da. Even Tina, even Kobe, even Keith,
Roger.
Roger, all of them. You name
Yeah.
it, they were all bad mouthing Jerry. Like she had no. She,
Her almost winning that challenge kind of hurt her a little bit because it gave everyone the opportunity to see what camp was like without her. And I
yeah,
think that was part of the reason why she went, is because they were like, oh, we all get along so much better without her here.
yeah. So Amber and Jerry kind of pick up a little bit how much relationship Tina's making with the other Kucha members.
Mhm.
But like that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to isolate them. If you isolate them, they're not gonna give you a vote at the end. And
Right.
so they take mental notes, but really not gonna mean amount to much. Excuse me.
We love this season, can't you tell?
Yeah, it's so I'm not gonna lie, I'm ready for the season to be over with. I think we got one more, maybe two more podcasts about this, and I am ready for it to be over.
It's not, listen, as a rewatch season, it's just not. I remember liking it way more when I originally saw it. I didn't know what was going to happen versus now. So it's not a great rewatch season in my opinion. I think if you're watching Survivor for the first time, you would like it a little bit more. But as for rewatch, debatable.
Yeah. So Jerry still thinks Colby's on her side with Amber, but it's not the case. Colby's definitely for sure 100% with Amber and Keith.
You
And
mean Tina and Keith?
Tina and Keith, sorry.
Yes.
Tina and Keith. And so it's like I don't understand what she was thinking.
She
Uh
likes him.
yeah,
That's what it is. She likes him,
well, yeah.
which
It,
literally ruins her game.
it ruins her game. So we go to the immunity challenge, the box square rope challenge.
Mhm.
It is. I don't am a big fan of this one. The next couple I'm a
Really? I
fan of.
like this. See, I like this one too.
Really? All right,
I
you talk
like
about them.
strategic challenges though. I'm a
Okay.
I'm a fan of strategic challenges.
But like, how much strategic did you have to get? Like, it got lucky. Like, he just went on a big run because of his placement. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? Like I get like
Yeah.
there is some strategic like the people who went first had a real disadvantage than the people who went later.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's my big issue with it. And it's not that it's it takes like a yes, it takes a mind to figure out, oh, I can put it here, put it here, put it here. But like it doesn't take much of a mind. If you're not a dummy, you can figure it out.
This is true. This
And
is
so
very,
that's my
very
issue.
true.
Like just because of someone's placement on the order is that's how they won, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can see that. I like that. I don't know. Maybe if it was a more fair ground, I would like it more.
Yeah, like
I agree.
I don't mind like like how the chess moves, like we've seen on here and the Big Brother, like where you move
Mhm.
and you have to like strategically put your spot in the right
Right.
spot. Like I like that. It's a fair ground though.
I haven't seen that challenge in a long time.
I think they didn't do it last season. Yeah, that's where Rudy won.
Oh, I thought you meant like last season, like Winners at War. I was like, I don't
No,
remember them doing that during Winners at War.
no,
Okay, yes, they did. Yes,
yeah.
they did that with Ruby. That's the
Yeah,
one that Ruby
yeah,
won.
yeah. So I like that one. Keys wins second immunity in a row. He's really excited.
Yeah,
Uh, it's storming like crazy there the entire time, pretty much. It's been
yeah.
rough.
That was listen. I, I'm scared of electricity. I'm not kidding. Like electricity for some I don't know why, but I'm scared of electricity. When it lightnings outside, the hair on my arm stand up, and I'm not about it. Okay.
This is the
If
first time
I
I
are
hear
you
about this,
telling me if
folks.
I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere with no lights and it's storming and it's lightning like that,
I've never
I
heard
don't
you
know what
talk
I would
about this
do.
before. That's funny.
Listen, when I'm at work and like something doesn't work on like the breaker box something and they call me and they're like, we need you to open the breaker box. No. Nope. There's electricity in there and it hums. Would I get shocked? Probably not. Do I want to take any chances? Absolutely not. Nope. Electricity
So
and me do not
we get
mix.
we get literally no build up from the immunity challenge until tribal. Literally, we get like 1-2 scenes and then it's just right to tribal. And it's just
I
like
know you want to see the gameplay.
I want to see the gameplay. I want to see what they're thinking, and them just going to tribal. Like it's just yeah. And basically, they just talk about how the jury. Jeff asked about how the jury's
This
going to
is
affect the game
baby
moving forward.
survivor. They don't know what they're doing yet. They're
We're
crawling.
we're gonna see how the jury affects the game. Yada yada yada. And basically, it's a 5-4 Alicia and Jerry vote. Because
Yeah.
we forgot to mention we did forget Elizabeth was convinced that Tina and the rest of them were gonna vote Jerry out.
Yeah.
Like she was really convinced like this was gonna happen, which would have been
We get way
idiotic.
more of Elizabeth during post merge
Yeah,
versus pre merge. Pre merge,
yeah,
she were
sure.
like, I don't even know if she was on the game.
Yeah, I
But
forgot her name for a little bit.
yeah, but it seems like they're showing a lot more of her strategically post merge than they did before, and she's not a bad player.
If Okafor did that though, that would have been one of the dumbest moves I've ever seen in my life. Because
Oh
not
yeah,
only it makes it tie now, but Kucha now knows that Kobe has all these votes. So if Okafor would have did that, I would have been like, hello, you guys there? Anybody home? But they didn't. They voted Alicia out, which was probably the right move.
the right
Her
move for
her or
sure.
Nick would have been the
Mhm.
preferred move there, and they did it.
She's one of those players too that you don't want her to get to final six because then she can go on an immunity run and literally win her way to the final. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like, which essentially is what Colby did, but we'll get to that later. But she's one of those contenders that she can get a good immunity run going, and then you can't send her home.
yeah, and but yeah, that's the end of episode 8. Remember, we did not watch episode 9. It was just a recap.
Recap. We didn't
We
want to rewatch it again
we
twice.
didn't want to watch it again. Sorry. Episode 10. It starts off with them talking about the reward challenge. Basically, it was I don't did they tell them what the reward challenge was, or is just pairs? They just told them it was pairs, right?
I
Before
think they
they
just
select.
told him. I think you're right. I think they just told him it was pairs, if I
So
remember
so
correctly. I
basically
don't.
it was pairs, and um Jerry wanted to be with Colby, and everyone's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! You don't get to decide that." And she's like,
No,
"Why not?" Da da da. Then like, we're gonna draw names on a hand. She's like, "Why is that fair?" And all this stuff. And she went on a big tangent, which isn't the right move, girl. This is what I mean. She's not doing anything smart. Instead of
no.
playing ball and being nice to people, she's trying to put her foot down and say, "This is how it's gonna go." You're not in that position to do so. But
She's
anyways,
not used to playing this game. And I think, listen, Jerry has one of the best character arcs in Survivor. So when we get to her later, because she does come back again, in case you guys didn't know, she does come back again
twice.
twice. And she does get better strategically. But during the beginning, she's so pressing to people. She's very annoying, a
Mhm.
very, very self-righteous, and it turns a lot of people off.
Yeah,
So, but later on, she does get better, I think. I mean,
yeah. She
you know, but now, yes, Jerry's doing an awful job of socially playing this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically they pick names and Jerry gets Colby anyways. So she's like, I get him, da, da," in her confessional. It's just like, oh. And
I do think that now that I say her name incorrectly. Is it Alicia or Alicia?
Alicia.
Alicia. Okay. I think that now that Alicia is gone, Jerry's probably the most physically fit female left. So for her and Colby
Yeah.
to be paired together, I feel like it was almost a disadvantage to everybody else because you have your strongest male and your strongest female together competing.
Yeah, I give you that. So Jerry is in good shape. Like you can see that going
Mhm.
into it. She's not a slouch or whatever. It's just she's just overbearing on people, and that's her
Yeah.
biggest. And she doesn't know her social awareness is not very high this season.
No, no,
Uh,
definitely not. She's
basically,
not a good social player this
no,
season.
basically they win reward challenge, and
Her
her,
best game was Heroes versus Villains.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they win the reward challenge, and they get to go on a helicopter to like this big waterfall, and or not waterfall, but sorry, I don't remember this reward very well because it was.
They go to a Eden or wherever they get to eat. They like sit
Oh
at a
yeah, yeah,
table and then they get to they get to stay or whatever. They get drunk.
yeah. So like
They sit on the beach together.
yeah, they're all living it up and everything.
Oh, Jerry's in heaven. She's like, she thinks that her and Colby are like on honeymoon together. She literally said that honeymoon. It's like she said it's literally honeymoon, but without the sex.
Yeah,
And Colby's like, dude, I feel so bad for Colby in a situation like this. Could you imagine being stuck with Jerry, just the two of you, and she's making comments like that the whole time? I would, I don't even know what I would do.
to be honest with you, I don't know how anybody does anything like that out there. You guys
No.
are gross. You guys don't have any deodorant. You guys aren't brushing your teeth. And it's just like last thing I want to do is go around in the dirt with somebody.
Yeah.
No
No.
offense. I don't
And you
care.
don't even want to sleep next to people like that, and you have to.
Yeah,
Like,
you have to.
no.
Like,
Don't shave.
don't shave. Like, yeah, like there's no like even if I was a single male out there and there was some girl that was fancied my whistle here and I want and like she was interested in me, there's no way I'm getting down and busy. I'll tell you that right now because
Absolutely
I'm like,
not.
get away from you,
You wait
nasty.
till you get to Ponderosa.
Yeah, we can or we'll do after the game. One and two. But like if I was a single male out there, there's no way I'm doing that. It's gross. That's
Listen,
disgusting.
for the most part, also, you don't want to get in a showmance on Survivor anyway. It's only worked one time with Boston Rob and Amber. That's why they're like as famous as what they are. Otherwise, it don't really work. It's a horrible game move. Don't get in showmance.
Yeah. It
It's been
basically
proven
it's
on Big
just
Brother. It's been proven on Survivor. Just don't get in a showmance.
basically it's
You just
Jerry
date
just
him afterwards.
talking about how she's crushing him, and Kobe's like, "Yeah, I'm not feeling it." That's basically what
Oh, he's
happens.
not.
Uh, and it's just that's it. That's it. And then we go back to camp. Everything's normal. No
I'm
strategy
sorry,
talks.
Jerry, but with
Nothing.
Amber and Elizabeth walking around, you ain't got a chance.
I don't see. I'm not big. I don't think Amber's all that.
Or even Jerry.
But I think Jerry has. Okay, we're gonna beg
Have we seen
tangent.
Playboy edition, Jerry?
No,
She modeled for Playboy, right?
I had no idea.
Oh, bro, you gotta Google that. She's hot. She was super hot.
Okay. We're gonna get on a big sidetrack here if we keep going down
I
this.
know.
But basically,
Probably
we
hear my
get
cat meowing.
yeah, I hear him or her.
Here, Noah. Her name is Samoa.
Like the season.
Yeah.
So we go to immunity challenge, and it's a balance challenge. Basically, it's a head-to-head competitions, and it's different types of battles you're doing with balance. Actually
Me and
like
Frank
this
love
one.
this challenge. We thought this challenge was good.
Yes, it was fun to see them go at it. I mean, yes, maybe the guys have like a little bit more strength with the rope, but that was it. And to me, like the
Mhm.
women, it's easier to balance if you're smaller. So like you do have a little bit of advantage there, but I
It's
like this
easy to get
challenge.
people to use their own balance against them, though. I don't think sometimes the bigger people don't have the advantage.
That's
I can
true.
understand strength wise, like you pulling and being able to do it that way, but sometimes that can work
I'm
against
pretty
you.
sure Colby let go on Elizabeth. Like I'm pretty sure that was he was facing. Like she was doing the
Yeah.
rope thing, and Elizabeth went to pull really hard, and he just let go, and she just fell.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Mhm.
But basically, Nick wins immunity. He really needed it because he was probably going to go home here.
Oh yeah, he knew he was
Uh,
gonna go home. Which but like here's my thing is like he has been saying how he wants to go home,
mhm.
and I thought he kind of was planning on getting voted out. Like what I'm talking about, like GC in his way out, like being
Yeah,
asked to vote out. But he they wins immunity. I'm like, what? But then he almost won immunity beforehand too, right? Or he won something else, like almost won something else beforehand. I'm like, why are you trying to win these challenges if you want to go home? Like
he's
if
he's young. He's 22, I think.
yeah, that's true.
Um, and it sounds from what I could tell, he probably hasn't like lived like he had a life to like he had to be grown up real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So maybe he had like the college experience or whatever, which is fine. Nothing against that, but it's just
sure.
him being young and probably like, I don't want to do this, and be like, no, I'm here to do it. And he can't make up his mind. And that's probably what it is.
That makes sense.
Not saying anything bad about him, but that's probably what it was, that he
No,
couldn't make up his mind. And when you're younger, you have more impulse, so you're have more impulse, and you're just like, I don't know what to do.
right.
So back at camp though, like Jerry and all them discuss what we're going to do. And like, we're going to go from Nick to Elizabeth because Nick was the original plan. But Keith, Tina, and Colby talk about doing Jerry.
Well,
And
Colby doesn't want to do Jerry
yeah,
because they suggest it, and Colby shuts it down really, really fast and is like, that'd be the stupidest thing to do, which he's right.
it
He is
is.
correct.
It is right. It's
He's
it's
right.
he's right because this could easily swing into other people's favor because now. So they end up going through with it. We're just gonna skip ahead. Wait, let's
Right.
skip ahead. I don't care. So they end up going through with it, right? Voting
Yeah.
out Jerry. Now it's those three clearly shown they're a threesome. Like there's those three, Jerry, Keith, or not Jerry, Keith, Tina, and
And
Colby.
Colby.
Those are the three, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now you have Roger, Elizabeth, and Nick on the other side, and now
Right.
you have Amber sitting here in the center. Now, if Amber was, let's face it, me and you are not Amber fans as a
No.
player.
No.
She played 3 times. I don't think she played very well in either
Well,
occasion.
if you guys didn't know, Amber was an alternate for All Stars.
Yeah, so
Elizabeth was originally supposed to be on All Stars, and for some reason she wasn't. And so Amber came in as an alternative. And that's obviously how Rob and Amber started, and the rest is history.
yeah, so
But
basically, if Amber was smart, she would have seen that those three are a threesome and she went to the
mhm,
other side. And
mhm.
but we'll get more onto that. But it was a bad decision for those three to vote Jerry there. They could have voted out. They could have voted out, let's say, Elizabeth or Roger there, and then voted Jerry next round, and that would have
Yeah.
been not a big deal. But by doing
Do
that
you think
now,
Jerry would have flipped though?
no, she
No,
was too obsessed with Kobe.
true. We did say
So
that.
basically, all right, we'll go to tribal. We skipped a little bit ahead, but they go to tribal. They introduce a jury, and Nick said, I need this because I'm pretty sure I was going to be voted out, which was 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Um, and Jerry talks about her stress and everything going on here.
Listen, and you know what? I agree with Jerry. I do at this point in time because she is being honest with the people in the jury. She's being honest with the people that she's on the tribe with, and being honest to Jeff, host Jeff, and is like, I'm sorry, I'm grumpy. I'm, a little bit more irritable than normal, but it's because I have lack of food, lack of sleep, and she's being honest. And I think that she really was being honest at that point in time. She wasn't using it as an excuse. I
Mhm.
think that really was probably the reason why, because we do see Jerry later and she's not like that all the time.
Yeah, I think
And I think it was a big culture shock for her, as she didn't realize how intense this game was going to be. And that affected her whole outlook on the game and outlook on her strategy and outlook on how she was going to, because I mean, she was going in full survivor mode ready, but didn't realize, when you're hungry, you're hungry.
yeah, I think we don't know what it takes a toll on you sleeping on the ground for that long, not eating the most right then, and
Hot.
hot, the heat, the environment. We don't know what how you react and how your
Yeah.
mind would be in that scenario. So I agree there. All right. So basically, what it came down to is that it was a 5-2 2 vote. Jerry got 5. Elizabeth got 2. So that means Amber and Jerry were the only ones left out of the vote. Uh, like I said, not a very smart move
No.
by original Oka Core members, because a lot can happen. We'll get more down to it this episode, because
A lot
I
does
feel like
happen.
a lot should have happened.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We'll break it down on what should have happened.
yeah. So basically, this episode 11, we get to see the auction, which I'm all for.
I love
But
Survivor Auction.
me too.
We're going to say this every time Survivor Auction comes on.
Yes.
We love Survivor Auction.
Yes. I love the Survivor auction. It's fun to see people super excited for food. And, I don't mind advantage or two thrown in there. But what they should do is have the advantage in one of those under hat things in the middle of the round. And then guess what? Survivor auction fix, baby. Just like that. Because everybody kept waiting to the end to save their money for that advantage. Just put it right in the middle. Somewhere in the middle where it's one of those covers and you don't know what it is. And like, oh, you bought the advantage.
Dude, I freaking loved it, because like they're actually hungry. So for them, I mean, they were paying, look how much they were paying for like 4 fries and a thing ranch.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like the rewards were so small. And then they ended up, like Survivor Auction now is like a whole spaghetti dinner with garlic bread and stuff. And back then they were bidding on like 4 fries and some ranch sauce. Like,
yeah.
it was ridiculous. And
right.
Dude, I fucking love when like Elizabeth was like, "Can I get a loan?" And Tina turned around so fast and was like, "Can I have half your potatoes and your turkey? I'll give you this much money." Like she was so about it.
But we skipped ahead a little bit, but we just love this.
Funny.
We love the Survivor auction. So, but basically, Amber is really upset about how Jerry's not there and how she got blindsided and everything. And everybody's talking about how great the camp is now that Jerry's not there.
And Amber, but listen, this, like you said before, this was Amber's perfect opportunity to flip.
Yes. Amber could have. So if I was Amber, this is me.
Yeah.
If I was Amber, I would have went to the Kucha members and say, hey, let's vote out one of the other members here, right? Mm-hmm. And say, I'll vote with you guys. And you tell them this is what you're going to do. And then the next round, you can, or whoever they're voting for, say they're voting for Nick. They vote for Nick. You say, go back to the other side. And out of the 2 people left, hey, I just had to even out. You guys did to me. You did to me. Now let's vote Nick out, because he already has votes cast against him.
Yep.
And it's just like there's like so much that Amber could have did here in the center that we did not see at all. And then we could have seen so much from Nick, Elizabeth, and Roger, which we did not see at all. We didn't see none of that. We didn't see Kobe, Keith, or Tina trying to convince Amber to stay with them. We've seen none of that. None of that was shown at all. And that's what irritated me about this episode.
Yeah.
It's just like this should have been a heavy gameplay episode, because this big move just happened with Jerry.
So now we need to see the result of that big move and how people think about it and what people are going to do about it. And we really, like you said, we really didn't.
I was like, ooh.
Do you know what we would have seen it if Jeff and Scoopin were still in the game?
Yeah.
Seriously, if Varner and Scoopin were still in the game, this would be gameplay heaven right now.
It's just we didn't see none of that, and it's just basically they talked about how hungry they were before the reward challenge, and like you've seen Kobe's ribs in the back, and you've seen all of them just
look
a lot of weight. And Nick talks about how he wants to go, doesn't even want to be here anymore, but he's gonna tough it out, and it's just like so we get to reward challenge. It's the Survivor auction. It's so much fun. I love the Survivor auction. It's fun. And guess what you want to see on the show? Fun. And so And
everyone being together and just a lighthearted feel. The lighthearted feel to do the music to it was cracking me up. I don't know if you were like listening to music.
yeah.
So the music this season is so funny.
Yeah.
I love it.
But yeah, they were buying like $150 for like Mountain Dew and
Doritos. He
Powerball
was like, Tina, I
Doritos.
know you love Doritos.
I was waiting for a steak, man. I was like, oof, I would put all my money on for a steak.
They weren't doing that. They weren't doing the food like that early, man. They were going all out on potatoes and
or like a pizza.
oh god.
I would have loved to have a pizza.
Anything with bread, sign me up.
But yeah,
give me like lasagna or something. Oh god, that'd be so good.
The highlight was when you said the loan, but it was like the turkey dinner had veggies, it had mashed potatoes, had a
Tina was
piece
so
of bread.
ready to go to eat that. Yeah,
for sure. And
I think Tina and Elizabeth are the hungriest.
Yeah, well, yeah. And then go on any rewards. Amber had 2 rewards, or no, she had a reward, and
she
that helped
went
her
with Jerry on hers.
Yeah, and so, but basically, yeah, it was fun. I liked watching it. The highlight was when they bartered to make money and they split up the dinner. Roger went all in for the burger, but then we get a segment of them all having to shit themselves. Then
quick too. Literally, as they were walking back to camp, it was that quick. They were just like, gotta go to the bathroom, gotta go to the bathroom. And Amber's sitting there like, this is great. I didn't get to eat anything. I don't have to worry about shit my brains out.
Yeah, Kobe's like, yeah, we're the smart ones. We didn't really get much. He had an energy bar and a coffee, and everybody else is running. Like literally, you see Elizabeth like walking like.
Worth it though. They said some of them said it was worth it.
Yeah, it was so funny.
So worth it.
But we got a whole segment of that, and they all went washed up afterwards because they felt shitty. Pun intended.
But I'm tis, yeah.
But yeah, but we get one segment of Amber's like, oh, I could possibly flip here, and that's all we get. And she's nervous that she might be voted out. That's all we get before tribal council.
It's not.
I lied. We forgot the barter of the rice.
Yeah. So they've been eating way more than what they were supposed to, which I was, do you remember an earlier, and I don't remember which episode it was, but an early episode when they were talking, they were all eating and they were eating out of their mugs, and there was like heaping full of rice. And I remember thinking to myself, man, they're eating quite a bit. I mean, that's a whole cup full of rice with it overflowing over that mug. Yeah. And I was just thinking to myself, like, that's quite a bit.
Right.
And then now here we are, and they're running out of food and just pissed. I mean, he was like, you guys had enough food, like he didn't want the viewer to perceive it as we just didn't give them enough food and make them starve. He was like, you guys had enough food and you didn't portion correctly. And now, you want more food, but that's not Survivor.
Yeah. Right. And so they had to give up their tarps and their flag that we're sleeping under, which it's weird. They don't have like a shelter this season. Like they're just sleeping on the beach.
No, they have shelter.
No, they were sleeping on the beach. They literally had the tarps over it, and they were just laying on the beach.
Oh, I would not like that.
So yeah, I wouldn't like that either, especially with Australia. How many creepy crawlies they have out there? No thanks. Get me off that ground.
No, creepy crawlies, and it gets hot there.
Yeah,
the ground's not cold.
Well, the sand is. They were sleeping on the beach, so think about the sand that night. It's probably cold and cool, and so probably. Yeah. But it's raining all the time, so it probably doesn't help.
They don't have an ocean though. I mean, they're not on the ocean.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, the sand is always cold at night, I feel like though. But yeah, so basically that's what they did. They got a bunch of bags of rice and some more hooks. But the turtles were eating all their hooks, to be fair. Yeah. That was kind of cool seeing the turtle snatching them up.
Snatch them up too, yep. But catch a turtle.
I'd be scared. Those things are mean.
Turtle.
Those things are scary though. Like being bit by a snappy turtle is no joke.
Yeah, but you can get it. Listen,
you're getting bit if you get bit by a snapping turtle, you're getting ejected off the game.
No, I mean I agree with that, but you know how much meat is on a turtle? I mean, just making turtle stew alone would feed quite a bit. I mean, it'd be worth it. Not worth it to get bit, but it'd be worth trying to catch a turtle because of how much meat is on the turtle.
How do you go about catching a turtle?
I mean, I would want to trap it first
Yeah,
versus catching it.
I'd be
But
scared. I want no part of that.
you're hungry, man.
Give me scooping back so I can eat some pig.
Yeah, no joke. They haven't, and you know what? They haven't even talked about the pig since.
No, they haven't. They talked about that
Mm-mm.
one episode, and that was it. I was like, dude, this is lit. I was like, this man
I
was
can't believe
all
Colby
go.
and like Roger and Keith will get together and go try to catch pig.
I don't. They said they were all over they seen them all over. So like, you
Yeah,
tell me
you
that they
think
haven't seen. They
how
probably
you
don't
just
have enough
watch bacon
energy.
walk by and not try to get it? What?
You're right though, but yeah.
Here, bacon, bacon, bacon.
So that's basically it. They borrow their rice, and then we get
Mhm.
2 clips of Amber talking about how she could flip, how she feels in danger, and then they go to tribal. That's
Yeah.
all we get. We have no idea what's going on with Kucha members. Or we get what actually we get one confession with Elizabeth. It was like, maybe we could scoop up Amber, and that's it. We didn't hear from Roger. We didn't hear from Nick. We didn't hear from Colby or none of them before tribal, right before tribal. They
Yeah.
mentioned it earlier in the episode, but that was it. And so I'm like going into this, I was like, this move was a big move to vote Jerry, was a bad move, and it could have been capitalized on for other people to figure this out, and nobody does anything with this move. And we go to
Yeah.
tribal. We have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. I was like, is it Amber or is it, because I don't remember. I know Amber doesn't win. So maybe she
No.
goes out here. So Jeff asks who's pulling their weight, and Nick's not really pulling his weight. He's just laying
You
in
notice
there.
how nobody gives an answer to this question though? Because I was waiting for somebody to say Nick again. And he asked like 3 different people this question, and they were like, no, we all participate. But like you said, I remember hearing who was it that said that Nick was lazy and didn't do anything? Was it Keith that said that?
Tina.
Tina said that
Yeah.
originally?
Yeah.
Okay.
And also Jeff asked Amber like what's how she grown, and she went on this big tangent how she grew as a person, how she done things that had nothing to do or like she could never thought she could do, and yeah.
It was it was a boring episode. It was just I really was like, oh, after merge it's gonna be so much better.
Yeah. I remember this season being better than it is actually too. So you're
Yeah.
not the only one. I'm rewatching. I'm like, I don't, I just not a big fan. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of Outback. I haven't
You
finished
liked
it yet,
Borneo
but
more.
I like Borneo more. The characters are a lot
Yeah.
more fun. Um,
More of a story.
there's more story, and there was a lot of fun. Like, there's no like fun happening here. There's not good gameplay. So like, if it's no fun, then I need at least really good gameplay. There's not
Yeah.
really good gameplay. There's like 3 people playing the game, and
Yeah.
that's Colby, Keith, and Tina, and that's it.
Yeah.
Everybody else is
I mean,
not
Jerry
thinking.
was kind of playing the game.
Yeah.
Elizabeth is kind of playing the game, but not the whole time. They haven't
Elizabeth
been
is
playing
playing the
full
game
time.
badly.
Yeah. So is
She's
Amber.
yeah. She
Maybe
oh
that's why we don't like it as much, because like I mean, we're also being biased because we've watched 40 seasons of Survivor, and this was back in season 2.
right.
So we're a little bit age biased, but it is frustrating when you just to look at a game purely gameplay wise, and this season is not it. And I think that with back then they were more focused on maybe being a survival show, and that's why they're hungry, and it's showing more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Because back then they just didn't focus on it being more of a game strategic show.
Yeah.
They didn't know what they
So
were doing yet.
but Jeff does mention, it's funny how the power starts here and the power ends here. And he's talking about the jury. He's talking about what the
Yeah.
jury's gonna mean at the end. So it is something to think about. He's basically saying you guys need to jury manage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
But I don't think jury management really, people don't see, as a viewer, you don't see how much jury management plays a part until I would say almost Survivor Amazon with like Rob Cesternino as the final. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like the final with the jury, you don't see how much.
I'd say All Stars.
I mean, All Stars was bitter,
That's
but
what I'm saying. Like Rob didn't have a really good jury management at all.
no.
And that's why he got blasted the way he did.
Yeah.
But basically the votes were 4 Nick, 2 Amber, and 1 Keith. Nick voted for Keith because Oh, I actually thought this was funny. I laughed. Keith, they even said it. They're like, started walking the tribal, and he's like, Keith, can I bring anything? He's like, nope. And Nick's like, I'm voting for him because he's so arrogant and he didn't even bring anything.
Listen, valid reason. I would do the same thing. I'd be like, you ain't gonna bring your stuff to tribal. They'd be like, I'm not worried. I'm not bringing my stuff to tribal. I would literally, as we're walking to tribal, be like, we're voting him out, right? Because he didn't bring any of his shit. And that means all of his shit that he's still here is going to be ours now to use. Listen, you can at least get two people to vote that way. You have to be able to. I would.
Man.
If you were to come to me, Frank, and be like, hey, we're going to vote, Susie Q out because she didn't bring any of her shit to tribal, I'd be like, bet. That'd be great TV. Let's do it.
Oh, that's my biggest conflict if I ever got to play is I'm not here to play or I'm not here for great TV.
Great TV. Then you have a chance to come back.
But yeah, basically Nick got sent home and he wanted to go home really anyways. Yeah. He was kind of mentally checked out. But yeah, this is what I mean. Like, it's just so frustrating because this episode after the Jerry vote should have been an episode where it was gameplay heavy. There should have been like a lot going on because that was a big move for to vote Jerry out. This is the first time any tribe members have voted each other out before the other tribe was gone.
Mm-hmm.
In season 1, they pagonged them. The pagonging started. This was the way it was going, and the first 2 votes, and then they flipped and voted Jerry. And Kobe thought it was a bad idea. And
that was the first, like you said, the first time that happened, and Jeff loved it. Jeff was like, finally, we're not doing tribe lines anymore.
But no, and then goes right into the tribe lines.
Yeah, I know.
Instantly. And Amber is this is my problem with Amber. Like Amber, like you're the 4th. If you go to 4 with them, you're the 4th. Like you should know that. You're the 4th of that alliance. And so it's just, that's my issue.
Maybe she felt closer to Tina than what she actually was. Because maybe. I mean, they did mention how like Tina and Amber were getting closer. So maybe she felt like Tina had her back a little bit more. But again, that just explains why Tina was in a power position.
That entire game. And it just I don't know. Just these episodes have been dragging. I'm not gonna lie. I'm ready to be done. I'm ready to move on.
We'll see how these last few episodes go and just share, because we know that the next couple of immunity challenges are won by one particular person. And I want to see maybe if they put more gameplay into the episodes, since it's not as an exciting win.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll see. But yeah, that's all I got to say about this. But I do owe someone I guess not apology, but I'll give him his fair due. I didn't tell you I was going to do this, but Derek, who I called a really bad winner in Super Duper.
Yeah, you douchebag. No, I'm just kidding.
He played really well in All Stars. He voted me out. What a jerk. But he played really well in All Stars, and he got to Final 6 and he got rocked out at 6. And he played like a boss. I still stand by what I said about his game, his winning game. But as a player, he showed some real improvement, because I think that was his first ever game. So by him winning Super Duper, or not winning Super Duper, but making it as far as he did, and the way he played, he actually, me and him kind of went head to head on a vote, and he actually got lucky because he had a black vote. But
Super Duper All Stars 2, by the way, shout out to you guys. You guys played a great season.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys really, it was fantastic.
It was fun. I hate your fucking twists, Vreeland and Tony. I'll stand by that. Your twists really did not help me a ton. If I would have made merge, I think I could have did some, but I was the last vote out before merge, only because the Edge of Extinction was in play. Fuck the Edge of Extinction. I'll stand by that.
Yeah, no one likes Edge of Extinction.
But yeah,
I just want. I've mentioned I got voted out of Corey's org since the last podcast did. I don't know.
I'm org free. I got voted out of my games.
Out of 22.
I'm org free. I voted out 7th in SOG. So I am org free. I actually just got to vote for the winner in SOG, and it's still not over.
But I am also org free at the moment, but I will be starting one in the next couple of weeks. Can't say which one. Very, very top secret.
I am semi-retired. I am going in semi-retirement.
He says that. Listen, guys, he says he's retired. Okay. We all know Frank always like, oh, this is gonna be my last one.
I am semi-retired.
Whatever.
I probably won't play again until like October, if that. That's a long time away. I know. Look at Emma in the face. She don't believe me. But I'm semi-retired.
Guess how many people believe you?
I've already been asked for like 4 or 5 people to play, and I'm just like, no, thank you, I'm good.
We do still want to possibly host one day though.
Yeah, potentially, but I'm semi-retired. I'm not retired just yet. Once I'm ready to retire, I'm ready to retire. But yeah. Uh, but yeah, I just wanted to give Derek his due because I called him out and he called me out when I played Super Duper with him. So I felt like I owed the man the due that he played really well in Super Duper All Stars. So Derek, you played really well. You're a cool guy. I actually think he's a dope dude. So I haven't met him. I didn't meet him before I said that, and I met him in the game, and we had our
Cool.
conversations. And he's a cool dude. So, but
Um, we will have another host interview after we finish Australian Outback.
yes,
We've already talked to the hosts that are going to be joining us too. We won't tell you guys who it is. We want to be more of a little bit of a surprise, or at least not announce it until
we're
it gets
done with
closer.
Australia
Yeah,
Outback.
until we get a little bit closer. But we have talked to them, and they will be on. So I mean, Frank have played with both of these hosts before, so you guys can figure it out. But they'll be joining us after we finish Australian. You know, we're gonna do the last bit of episodes in the reunion, and then they'll be on. So
Yeah, and then we'll start off Big Brother after that. I
mhm.
know some people said they're not the biggest Big Brother fans, but please give it a shot with us and just watch it with us.
Yeah,
I really okay. I know it's not the most exciting, but I really love season 2. Season 2 holds a special place in my heart.
I
It's
don't
not
mind
nostalgia
season.
either.
No, I don't mind season 2, but sometimes old Big Brother is hard to watch just because of quality and TV wise. So if you don't mind watching old TV where it's before HD, before 1080p, then you'll be okay. You won't bother you. But if you don't like watching old TV, it's going to be hard for you to get there. I'm just going to be honest with you. Big Brother is also, if you've never seen Big Brother before, it's kind of like Survivor where people get voted out and such, but it is a different format and it's an interesting format. So I would just suggest giving it a shot. If you've seen one season of Big Brother and you didn't like it, try a different season.
Yes.
And then if you watch, start 2 or 3 seasons and you just don't like it, that's cool. I don't like Amazing Race. Everyone loves Amazing Race.
I'm not a big Amazing Race fan either.
No,
I love the challenge though. The challenge is a shit.
I haven't seen challenge.
But this ends our episode of covering 7 through 11 besides 9. Thank you guys for listening. I don't know if we'll cover the rest of it next episode. We haven't really discussed that. We have to look at them. There's a lot of episodes this season. It's a long
season's
season.
42 days instead of 39.
Yeah.
So also they have announced that the new season of Survivor 41 is going to be only 29 days long. I don't know if that's a rumor, if that's fact. So we will see how that plays out for 41. I know I don't like it either.
We'll see.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, but this ends our episode. Thank you guys for watching. Please give us a like, comment, join our Facebook page, Survive the Unexpected.
Survive the Unexpected. Share with your org friends.
Family, friends.
We will be talking about more org stuff, especially during host interviews. So we won't be talking about it every single episode, but we're going to cover a lot of that stuff when we do host interviews, just to get that org part of it in, because we do enjoy that part too.
Yes, we do. But we'll talk to you guys later, and thank you guys for watching.